We hope you guys enjoyed the episode last week with our top fives of the year. So let's get to it. In today's timeline, I will be starting us off with Inferno number 4. So far I've loved the story. It's like an end of the X-Men. At the end of last one, it was Nimrod and the Omega Sentinel versus Charles Xavier and Magneto, which is totally cool. They finally faced off in this one. Awesome fights. Nimrod's just badass. But then on the other end, Moira gets turned into a human, so she's no longer a mutant, can't come back to life. And then just before she gets killed off, Cypher shows up with the island itself and Bay, so his wife. They show up, they stop Moira from dying, and so yeah, actually Charles and Magneto got killed by Nimrod.
Yeah, I did see that.
That was pretty cool. I love those fights. And then, so now when they come back to life, because they get, revived a week later, things have changed. Quiet Council's been moved around a little. Same people, but everyone knows that, there were secrets. Everything came to light, and they kind of leave it as Immortal X-Men coming in March. So I believe that's the end of the Inferno line. And the story was good. The ending was just a little, felt like it needed some more, but I look forward to the next installment. Do you?
All right, yeah, that's an ending. Time to get back into Batman 119. Joshua Williamson, Jorge Molina, Mikael Janning. Let's just say, Molina and Janning, I think they combined for some of the best Batman art we've seen in a while. I like Jorge Jimenez, but these two just added a level of realism to the book that was amazing. Batman meets Abyss for the first time. He's in this police station. And Abyss cuts the lights, cuts the power, and obviously Batman being a creature of the night, he starts flicking through his cowl, night vision, night vision, infrared, finally flashbangs himself, and it's just like, I'm still in the police station, Abyss, like, nice trick. And then you get Abyss, and then they start going toe-to-toe, and Batman gets destroyed, like, utterly destroyed. Abyss is super fast. He has these two, like, small sights. That's his weapon of choice. That in the darkness, of course. And yeah, the vibe I got from Abyss is that he could be a Talon. Every time Abyss has been nearby, they find this, like, serum on the ground. Could be part of the Talon's rehealing procedure. The other thing we see in this book right at the beginning is Lex Luthor. He's very much back in the main fold of things, and he's now involved in the next world-ending event, The Rising. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes when we get to the Superman book. But yeah, Lex Luthor there. As I said, art is amazing. And then finally, the last thing to add would be the backup story, A Gotham Academy Adventure by Carl Kerschel. He wrote, drew, and lettered it. Nice little addition. It's about this girl that goes to Gotham Academy. She's searching for her friend that's gone missing. Batman's there. These like weird creatures come out of the river. And it's to be continued in the next issue. But yeah, I cannot wait for Batman 120 next month. And back to you, Franco.
So yeah, my second one is Death of Doctor Strange number 4. So, young Doctor Strange has been, trying to figure out his killer. And everything points towards his rival, which is Baron Mordo. So he has the Cloak of Levitation and the Eye of Agamotto in his castle. So they're like, okay, well, clearly it's you. He's like, nah, man, here's the stuff. I was framed. I wish I would have killed you because I would have been bragging about it because he's just happy. That's what he's always wanted. So somebody kind of framed him and kind of took that away from Baron Mordo too, the ability to kill Doctor Strange. So young Strange is like, well, then maybe somebody that hates him and me at the same time. So who could it be? He gathers all the leaders from all the dimensions that have come to Earth in one spot, like a parlay. And he says, well, everyone's here. I'm going to tell you who killed me. And after figuring things out, it was Baron Mordo's like subordinate, Caelicious, and that he got, like, Doctor Strange banished him, and Baron Mordo did not save him or help him at all. So he was like, okay, both of you guys should fear me now. And he does have Strange's hands, so he's got like all the power, and he says, well, it's about time you figured it out, so let's go. That's where the issue ends. In the distance, we see that this monster that just eats everything with the 3 like cool, crazy ladies are coming on the way to where all these guys are talking. So yeah, next issue should have some awesome fights, and hopefully they all get to fight the big bad guy, the kid, the kid looking thing.
Nice.
So yeah, that one's awesome. Yeah, moving on to you.
All right, my second pick of the week is Batman 1047 by Mariko Tamaki and Ivan Reis. We'll just start with the art by Ivan Reis. If you guys haven't seen Ivan Reis art before, it is top-notch. He just finished up doing Superman with Brian Michael Bendis. And this is kind of his next main project. This is going to be a 12-part series over the next 3 months, weekly. So we'll be talking about this like every week. Like it's just going to be here. Just going to deal with it. And to start with the storytelling, non-linear, which is one of my favorite types of storytelling. Westworld does it very well. Just as an example, but it starts in the present day, 7 days into Arkham Tower. Everything's calm. There's a new doctor. Everything's chill, and then it cuts to day 24, and the doctor's been thrown out the top floor, and he's dead on the ground. So I was kind of surprised in this one. We see some familiar faces. Nightwing is in the tower, not in his Nightwing suit. Like it's Dick Grayson. It's not Nightwing. We also see Huntress, whose name I can't remember. She's in the tower without her armor. Outside the tower, we have Batwoman and Cassandra Cain, Batgirl, and they're trying to figure out like how to calm everybody down. People are being thrown out windows. People are being chopped up inside with a pair of scissors. It's pretty messed up. So they're like planning on how to get into the building. Scaling the building came up, and Batwoman's like, no, we probably shouldn't do that until we know what's going on inside. Next issue is kind of a flashback to after day 7, kind of when everything started to break down. So the final thing with this issue, the backup story, House of Wayne or House of Gotham. I can't seem to figure out an exact title for it. The covers call it House of Gotham. Some people call it House of Wayne, so we're just going to call it House of. Matthew Rosenberg, Fernando Blanco. Looks great. The art is amazing. Very intriguing idea. Basically, this kid is home. His father rushes in. Joker's right behind him. He hears Johnny's the door with a fire axe, butchers the parents in front of the kid, and right before he can find the kid and kill him, Batman shows up and saves him. Both Joker and Batman have amazing entrances. Batman just through the window, smashes through it, and the kid gets taken to Arkham Asylum. And that's how this ends. So we'll see part 2 of that. What becomes of this kid in Arkham Asylum?
Oh, that sounds very intriguing. And
yeah, it's very dark. It's very disturbing.
Well, moving on to some dark timelines in the Marvel Universe, we've got the Wastelanders Doom. So as we know, it's set in the Wolverine, Old Man Logan universe. So it starts with Doom just kind of flying around, trying to figure out what's going on, just surveying his lands because, he's president. And he comes across a spot that seems like it's protected by magic somehow, because it looks like it's perfect. A house, little kids running around, and he's like, okay, this is all wrong. There's no way this is happening. So he investigates. Sees Agatha, the one that the show is going to be about, at the front.
Oh, okay.
Constantly under some guy's control, and he just kind of keeps walking in here. It's got some really cool, magical barriers. So he said it's a very simple but effective way to keep people going, which is it's going to ask you, to give up one of your primary memories at one point if you want to continue walking, and give something else. And so it takes stuff from you, but you can continue. So Doom does lose a very precious memory. It's just the first time a stranger actually helped them ever when he was a kid. We see some old memories of Doom, and he's just like, yeah, that's too precious for me. You can't take that. Or the first time he got his spell, he was just like, oh my God, I can't let go of that. Or when his goddaughter was born, he's there, and he's just like, yeah, you can't take that away from me. But here, this random stranger, sure, just why not take it? Apparently it does affect him, but then he continues and finds that the guy that's doing this is actually Baron Mordo that I just talked about in Doctor Strange. So he's found the Darkhold and used that power to just control this people, and he's protecting them kind of, but keeping them enslaved. So they're all technically screaming and just without them.
So they're safe, but not against their will. But they're kind of against their will.
They're 100% against their will. So somehow Doom was able to get into Agatha's mind a little bit, just kind of just throw some info there, and she was able to shake this off, which powers down Baron Mordo. Doom is able to kill him and take the Darkhold for himself, which is this book. And he just flies off and says now that he's got the book, he's going to go rule. And that's how that goes.
Okay, pretty straightforward. All right, my next book, we have Superman, Son of Kal-El, 6 by Tom Taylor and John Timms. This is probably the best issue to date, I think. There's the repercussions of Jay Nakamura, that interaction. But we also see President Bendix of Gamora is now just kidnapping children. And we don't really know why at first. Superman saves them. He takes the ambassador of Gamora to the U.S., basically arrest him, out in the ocean. He's on a boat going back to Gamora, and he just flies over and grabs him. And at the end, we get more teasing of the Rising, which they have said is going to affect the entire DC universe. And we see why he's kidnapping kids. He's turning them all into metas. So President Bendix of Gamora has a whole army of metahumans with all types of powers. We've seen fire, we've seen earthquakes, we've seen ability to put people to sleep. The sleep person does attack Superman, but he is able to get away. So yeah, we'll see where this leads. I'm gonna keep reading this one. I was debating stop reading it, but I'm gonna keep going.
I'm glad it picked up. It'll be cool to see a different type of Superman running around.
Yeah, we're finally gonna get a connected story. One that's a little bit more than just random saving of people. So we'll
You finally get a villain, right?
Finally get a villain.
Is he a new villain?
I think so, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. New villain.
Cool. Well, moving it on and staying with weird futuristic storylines, we got Wastelanders Star-Lord. So there's a podcast about him, but I don't listen to it, but just love the cover. Just seeing Rocket Raccoon just holding a cane, good old Rocket Raccoon, but sadly he's dead. So all of the Guardians have been killed. This is mostly about Quill coming back to Earth and just being completely defeated. Mentally, he's broken. He feels so bad that everyone's dead. He feels so bad that the Guardians are dead. He feels like he could have done more, but he was protecting his planet. So it's a lot of guilt. You just see him. He's just going through the motions. Sure. Goes back to Professor Charles's School for Gifted Youngsters. Kitty Pryde is there. He knows that Kitty Pryde is dead. So he just kind of follows this and just sees all the X-Men all torn apart. And they've got old Wolverine, the claw marks from where he killed them, which is cool to see. A little depressing, but...
yeah, it's a little dark.
And then he faces off with the Shadow King that just offers him everything. He says, I'll keep you here, but, you can relive your favorite moments with your ex-fiancé. And he's just nah, man, she would have wanted me to do better than this. You're not good enough for this. And he just kind of kills the Shadow King in the Cerebro room, which is kind of cool to see that too. He just escapes, and that's kind of the end of that one. We do have to say that all these Wastelanders, they're really starting to feel like cash grabs.
Yeah, they definitely just sound like cash grabs. I've only read the first one, the Wolverine one, and all of them, if they didn't say Old Man Logan universe, would anybody read them? Are they
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think they're worth reading.
I enjoyed the fact that the Doom one actually made me think, okay, I want to know more about Doom because I think he's a good villain. So maybe I'll start picking up some Fantastic Four or just straight up Doom books and seeing how that goes.
I think you're gonna want the next Maestro book. I think he's the villain of that because in the end of the second one, he's in Maestro's apocalypse, and he's just because he's free to do whatever he wants because nobody's bothering him. He fights Maestro very quickly. Maestro gets the upper hand, and Doom has to just teleport away. So I'm sure they'll be back.
Well, I think, Maestro's had 3 or 4, so it wouldn't be a bad pickup. But cash grabs on those. As much as I love that universe, it's kind of bringing me down a little. But all right.
All right. My final book that I read solo, Arkham City, Order of the World, number 4. This was one I was pretty excited for. Dr. Phosphorus and Nocturna are hiding in the walls of these people's apartment. And they don't really, you see them a little bit. They talk to Dr. Joy. They're just oh, you sound insane, Dr. Joy. We're normal people. We ate the neighbor's dog, but we're pretty normal people. We killed the neighbors with our radiation poisoning, but we're normal people. They stress the fact that they are now normal people, even though they have just killed 2 neighbors. And the big one is this one. Azrael fights Ten-Eyed Man very quickly. He cuts Ten-Eyed Man's fingertips off, which are where his eyes are. And Ten-Eyed Man's oh, I only have 5 eyes now. I don't know how you guys managed to see with only 2. And it's super funny, super hilarious, 10-Eyed Man. But 10-Eyed Man also snitches on Dr. Joy. He's like, oh, I've been hiding in Dr. Joy's apartment for the while. And the detective is just like, what did you just say? So yeah. Next up is Professor Pig. He has the person that is Amadeus Arkham. It's revealed that Amadeus Arkham's not a ghost. It is some form of creation from Professor Pig. Who I don't like Professor Pig. He creeps me out. So,
do you get to see like what the Arkham Professor Arkham looks like?
Yeah, so it's like a person, and like all of this part of their head is just like gone. Like it's just like a circle. Like it's really weird, and they have like some kind of suit on. That's the vibe I was getting. So we'll see where this book ends. 2 issues left. It's been pretty good so far.
All right, well, we'll finish it off with something that we both read, Dark Knights of Steel. It's been, like, my favorite so far.
Tom Taylor, Yasmin Putri?
But, yeah, the storyline's awesome.
Yeah, another great issue.
Where do we start?
Let's start right at the beginning. A star has fallen. That is the most kind of the key part of this book. We know there's kryptonite in this star. So at first I thought it was a Kryptonian, but I don't think it's Kryptonian. I think that's wrong. I think it's the exact opposite. At first I was thinking Superboy, but I'm starting to think it's like Doomsday.
Because I was thinking Zod, but there's kryptonite right
yes,
there.
Yes, Zod is still weak to kryptonite. So I'm kind of thinking like Doomsday, or somebody very powerful, somebody that can take down Kryptonians.
Yeah. So yeah, then we move along to
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman with.
She's there on Themyscira with her mother, the queen of the Themyscirians, or the Amazonians. They are talking to King Jefferson, and they're just like reassuring each other that they will be supporting each other in the coming war.
Until he says who did it.
Yes. Yep. Supergirl is kind of been outed from both sides now, I would say. I say she's kind of a rogue agent at this point, just kind of doing whatever she wants.
I mean, who can stop her?
And she comes back.
Yeah, so first we get, like, what? Diane actually freaks out because she's like, nah, Supergirl couldn't have killed your kid.
Yeah, she does not immediately side, so now she is now nobody's team, I guess, because she obviously would not go to the L's, but she can't be with the Amazonians anymore. So she's leaving to go try and sort this mess out on her own.
Yeah, and then, Supergirl returns.
Yeah, Supergirl returns. King Jefferson has his like posse of people on the ship. He tries to, electrocute her, and it doesn't really do anything. She falls into the water for a second.
See, I like that shot. The ship will direct the electricity all the way to the tip, and that's where she was just kind of like right in front of it. It's almost like, come on, what are you gonna do? And he does hit her real hard.
So I actually thought they were gonna introduce the Atlanteans here. With the ship passing over, I was like, yep, this is a good time to bring in another group. It's still pretty early in the story. But I don't think they're coming. I think they're out. I think they're out for now.
Well, maybe they'll just be there for won't see it until episode 7 or 8.
True.
But yeah, so Supergirl comes over and destroys the ship.
Yeah, flies right through it. Gone, dead. Like just destroys it.
And
impales King Jefferson on a piece of wood, just like right through the back. So we're down another king.
Yeah. So now we've got just Constantine there because he was there. Pretty funny as always.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he's dead.
He's dead. Obviously, Jor-El is now dead. And the next issue seems to be a flashback. Alfred's kind of talking to Batman at the end when they get to the crash star and they find the kryptonite. And he's just like, well, it's time to know, time to tell you your history.
Yeah, so now that will be awesome. I am looking forward to that. I mean, it's been great so far. At least on my end, I just love it, seeing the good old characters in different setting, and it's working.
Right. All right. I guess we're on to ratings.
Yeah, so should we just let's just bring it right back.
Yeah, bring it right to the top of the list here. I'll start with Batman. Batman 119. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed this issue.
Same. Inferno 4, I do give that a 9 out of 10 because I love the story, and seeing Magneto fighting the Sentinels was awesome.
All right, Detective Comics 1047. 10 out of 10. This is my pick of the week. Not only is the main story really good, but the backup story is just as good. I felt like the backup stories, especially in the Bat titles, have been kind of lacking. Like we had Clown Hunter or Clown Killer or whatever his name was, and then we had the Batgirls. But now we finally have a backup story that I'm really interested in. So yeah, my pick of the week is that.
Well, Death of Doctor Strange, number 4. Just give it a 7 out of 10 because it tells me who the villain is, but it was a very slow issue. Well,
All right, Superman Son of Kal-El 6. I'm going to give it a 7. As I said, probably the best issue to date. And I hope it gets better.
I would say Wastelanders Doom. I can give it a 6 out of 10. I like Doom, but again, it's just cash grab.
Arkham City, Order of the World. I'm going to give that another 7. Again, not the best, not its best issue. It wasn't bad by any means, but it does not hold up to the first 3. And then finally, Dark Knights of Steel.
I got Wastelanders Star-Lord.
Oh, that's right.
Because there's 2 Wastelanders for this week. That one I'm bringing it down to a 5. It's a depressing issue. Just overall and very slow, and nothing's happening from it.
I wonder if that would change if you listen to the podcast.
Probably.
That's my one curiosity behind that. Okay, now Dark Knights of Steel. Franco?
I'd give it a good 8.
Yeah, I gave it an 8.
It's got its action.
It's got some great action. It's got, some very important events with King Jefferson now off the board.
So, the pieces are moving, and they're moving in the right direction. So,
all right, and what do you got next week?
We have got Dark Ages, number 4.
Dark Ages 4.
Then we got Venom. Then we got Hulk as well. So.
All right, I have... No, Hulk's following week.
Oh. Immortal, really?
Yep.
Huh, okay, then.
So next week, I have Detective Comics 1048, the second issue of Shadow of the Bat / The Tower. Robin and Batman 3, that's the finale. And then Dark Ages 4.
Oh, and I'm getting that DC book, the Justice League versus...
Yes, Justice League versus Legion of Superheroes by Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah, that looks really cool. Golden Lantern.
And then we'll have Peacemaker 1.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That is out now. John Cena, James Gunn directing, producing, writing. Can't wait to dig into that.
Yeah, and don't forget that the Eternals are out in Disney Plus if you haven't seen it.
For that, we'll be breaking that movie down as soon as we get a chance to watch it. That came out the other day.
That'll be a pretty cool little separate episode.
Yeah, that'll definitely be its own video.
So, okay, well, I'm glad that you guys have joined us this week. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll catch you next time.
Cool. See ya.